Welcome to 20-somethings TV, a show for 20-somethings by 20-somethings. I'm your host, Dimitri, and I'm joined here tonight by Dean, Audrey, and Yvonne. Thank you guys so much for inviting me to be your host this week. Appreciate y'all. So, let's get down to business. Our first topic tonight addresses a concerning new development from the United States government. As certain departments have begun removing a number of banned words from their respective websites, a full list of these words have been compiled. So let's roll the clip.
Scientists at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, are basically scrambling to revise their research in order to comply with new federal rules that insist scientists avoid using terms like gender, transgender, pregnant person, pregnant people, LGBT, transsexual, non-binary without the little dash in the middle. It goes on and on. Assigned male at birth, assigned female at birth, biologically male, biologically female.
So what do we think this means? What is the benefit in eliminating these words from government websites?
I say a little hyphen.
I know, they thought of everything.
That's so petty.
Damn
like
it.
low-key.
I thought maybe you could
you gotta
sneak it in
you
without
gotta
the
respect
hyphen.
that just a little bit.
Yeah, they're like, and without the hyphen, don't think non-binaries can get through that easily.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Well, I think that when I think of this list of words, it's like scribbling out, and then you can use the negative space to see exactly who they think is other. Now, the clip in the video is not, those are just kind of the more like woke, I'd say, terms that they're trying to wash off government websites. But it's getting added to every day. No, that's not true. But it's getting added to all the time. And it is to a point now that Black, Native American, Indigenous person, and woman is now on that list. So it is a huge illustration of who the federal government, who is supposed to represent us, the people, thinks is the other in this situation.
Absolutely, and I think it's just kind of, to put it into perspective, this has been like an ongoing thing for the last couple of weeks. I know that a couple of months ago, they had recently removed Jackie Robinson's name from some government historical documents as well. Even though his contribution through baseball is known, he also did serve, which is why he was posted on a lot of government websites. So when you're thinking about terms and things that are kind of getting erased, you kind of have to put into perspective, like, you have to ask yourself why, first of all. And then second of all, you have to, think about, like, where is this going to stop at, right? Like, what else are they getting rid of, and why? What's the angle here? Like, what's the point for doing this,
I feel like a question we have to ask ourselves, and I want to propose to the table as well, is can any of us describe ourselves without using words from this list? Now, some of the words in there are immigrant, elderly, which that sucks. Don't get old, I guess. The government doesn't want to deal with you.
He's pretty elderly if you ask me.
Sorry, Keith.
Wouldn't you?
But
I can do it.
Yeah.
All right, you ready for this? White.
bang.
Thank you. Thank you.
Phenomenal.
Right.
And you know what I think too? I think it's just like, are we building ourselves in a world where it's like either you are American or you are non-American? Because it really seems like that's what we're talking about without talking about it. It's like, are you American? Doesn't matter
Or
what
are
it
you
looks
all
like.
these other things?
Or are you just not American? It's so weird. And then you have to, like, what's an American? Like, what even is that? Because, like, what does that look like to you guys,
We're all Americans here.
An American can literally mean anything. Like, isn't that the whole point of the fucking
An
country?
American doesn't even have to live in America. An American can be overseas. I mean, when you're obnoxious in a train station in Europe, they'll all know you're American.
Exactly.
They'll know.
I can go anywhere and I'll still be an American.
You're super duper American. And I think I will just say this. I am staking my claim. But
Stake it.
I'm staking my claim. This is why I think a lot of Democratic / liberal / woke / blue-haired pronoun people are getting frustrated with the conservative right-wing side, because they're not proposing anything that helps. It seems it's always chopping stuff down.
Yeah.
It's always removing stuff. And I'm just like, can we think of an idea? Can you think of something that actually propels us instead of just taking things away and chopping it away. So I think this is just one of those things where I'm like, here we go again. Here we go again. That's just me.
Well, you have to, I think what I've been using to like cope with this whole situation is that like historically, and I've talked about this with people before, but like usually woke wins in the end. Like if we look at it from a pure like historical timeline, like woke has usually won out in the long run.
Absolutely. And you know what? I think we will continue the fight on politics and documents for sure. But let's talk about some moves. You guys know about the moves? Like Jagger. You ever heard of Jagger?
This is a fire
Let me tell you
transition.
something.
That was
Next
fire.
up, we're talking about Mick Jagger. Remember that guy?
No.
Well,
No.
He's still
he's
alive?
recently emerged into the limelight this week amid reports that he is newly engaged to a 36-year-old woman. Let's roll the clip.
Mick Jagger is engaged. The 81-year-old's longtime girlfriend Melanie Hammer confirms to French publication Paris Match in an interview published April 9th that she and Mick have, quote, been engaged 2 or 3 years. But Melanie reveals that she and the Rolling Stones frontman don't have any immediate plans to tie the knot, telling the outlet, maybe one day we'll marry, maybe not. We are so happy in our current life that I would be too afraid to change anything.
So what do we think? Is it true love? Must we be 81 before our match is truly met?
I want to surf it. I want to put my woke stamp on something, okay? Here's my woke stamp. I
This
know,
again.
I know.
Come
God. Me with the
on.
pronouns. My woke stamp is that I'm trying to be better about using derogatory language against elderly people.
Like Keith Brown.
Like, sorry, Keith.
Oh, okay.
Keith Brown, 80-somethings. Sorry, Keith. So,
This episode
starting
is
now,
never getting aired.
starting now, I say that we are not trying to say that if you're old, you cannot find love. What we are trying to say is something I won't say. It's a funny joke, but I won't.
So let's break it down. Who's in the wrong here, right? Everyone wants to say Mick Jagger, right? But like,
Okay, Loki, can I speak on that for a second?
for sure.
Okay, put yourself in the headspace of a 36-year-old woman right now.
Okay.
Like just everyone at home too. I want you to do this.
I don't know how that's possible, but sure, let's
I'm
do it.
there.
All right. Now you're engaged to Mick Jagger, a man who is probably very, very wealthy because
gotta
he
be
was in
flex.
a band at some point.
The Rolling Stones?
Sure.
A band?
Sure.
Definitely got my
And
stones
anyway-
I
going.
think I'm elderly as well.
Now
you
he's-
guys
now
know
he's-
that, right?
Yeah.
Now he's 2 feet from the grave. All right. 2 feet. He's a skeleton. He's about to bowl over.
Saw those wrinkles. He was
And you're sitting there and you're like, I don't know if I want a legal document that like entitles me to all of his riches after he goes. Like, I think we're just so happy to be like, that is the biggest bag fumble that I've ever heard on like a professional
The
celebrity
engaged
level.
and not married is.
And that's kind of the point. That's the point that I'm making. It's like, don't dip your toe.
It
Low-
sounds
she's
like when
low-key
people say,
selling right
I'm
now.
not trying to be racist. I'm not trying to get at this man for his money. We're just engaged. This has nothing to do with the fact that we don't even have anything to talk about.
You gotta commit
And
to
that he
it.
was born before Sudoku.
You got
This has
you
nothing to
gotta
do with
commit
it.
to it.
No, I know, I agree, and I feel like now obviously Mick Jagger, it's like, what are you doing? We get it. Like, come on, man. This isn't the way, right? This isn't a good look from the parameters of things. But this woman, like, why be engaged? This is shotgun marriage in Vegas. You're already in it. God knows what you guys are doing behind the scenes. If you're
I
able
don't
to walk
wanna
out
know.
with, if you're walking out with the man in public, you know what I'm saying? You're hugging him. You're already in it. You marry the man. You know what I mean? Like, let's talk. Like, and it's not just him. You know, like look at Bill Belichick, right? Bill Belichick is with a 20-something-year-old.
Whoa.
He,
That was
see
good.
what I
That
did
was
there?
good.
Yeah, cut that. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so he's with someone. Same thing with Rob De Niro. Rob De Niro is in his 80s. He has a 2-year-old.
I did read about that actually.
He's like, come on, come
So,
Dad.
you know, that it's, you know, and let me tell you something, like being elderly, you know, just time passes, like how we're going to pass on to this next topic right here. So our final topic of tonight is one that I'm sure our 20-something viewers are familiar with. A Minecraft movie has taken the world by storm, and audiences everywhere are celebrating the glorious exclamations of our Lord and Savior, Jack Black. But are audiences celebrating too hard? Let's roll the clip.
See it.
Chicken joe. Okay, Snitch.
Now, obviously, we all know that there is such a thing as etiquette, but does etiquette exist in the realm of Minecraft? Let's talk about it. What do you guys think? What are your perspectives?
Now here, I can speak to this because I'm a movie theater employee who worked a Minecraft movie opening weekend. Didn't get time and a half for it. So
Rats.
Holiday.
just the general minimum wage. But that was maybe one of the most, it wasn't the busiest weekend we've ever had, but it was definitely the messiest weekend we've ever had, because people are just throwing shit everywhere. They're throwing their candy, they're throwing their popcorn. Now granted, I've heard reports of people like throwing shit at the screen. We got lucky. That has not happened at our theater yet. But there was like, it was kids everywhere running back and forth, ankle biters left and right, everywhere you look, yelling like, flint and steel, flint and steel. And at a certain point you just have to think like, it's fine when like the 5 and 6 year olds are doing it. And even then it's like, still you should probably like teach your kids not to throw their popcorn everywhere. Yeah. But what the clip we just saw, and this is what I saw over the weekend too, it's like 20-somethings.
Cut it. No.
Everywhere are like doing this. They're doing this. They're showing up and they're making a scene. And is it a little funny?
A little.
Yeah, but like,
I'm sensitive to movie theater etiquette. I don't got to tell the story again.
No.
Hopefully everyone knows what I'm in reference to.
Long-time viewers know.
Long-time viewers know that I get a little nervous at the movie theater sometimes. But,
I already know.
No, you don't.
all I have to comment is that movie looks horrible. God, it looks bad.
Yeah, it's a bad movie.
Yeah, what's the budget? $2.50?
It was actually a couple, like 150 million?
250 million.
250?
Looks
250
horrible.
million.
So I just want to talk about like just movie culture, right? Because I feel like there are a lot of sort of like mixed emotions about this topic, right? Is this behavior wrong? Genuinely speaking, yes, it definitely is. You shouldn't go to a movie theater and act a fool. However, right, you know that old saying, there's a time and a place for everything? What if there were like designated experiences where if you want to sort of like be a little overexcited about what you're watching, that's a possibility. And then, let's say hypothetically, if the theater does get out of hand, why can't those people, those participants be responsible for assisting in cleaning up, right? Now, obviously, we don't want to see anybody get hurt. Getting hurt is one thing. But I just remember, you know, my uncle always talking about how he was one of the first dine and dashers, and he was one of those guys that got caught, and he was doing dish duty. Now, obviously, you can't do that in this day and age, but I'm just saying, like, think about like Smash Houses, right? Think about like kids movies that have like sing-alongs, right? They're altered versions of the film to like encourage a certain experience. Now, obviously, Minecraft, I don't think anybody expected the blow up to be what it is, but is there a world maybe in the future if we know that there's like, let's say a Fortnite movie in like 10 years?
Directed by Audrey Collins.
Where we know that things will happen, like can we encourage these sort of experiences and still have like casual viewing experiences?
See, you know what I think this all really stems from? We are in a peak blockbuster drought right now.
Yeah.
Okay? When's the last time there was a Star Wars? When's the last time there was an Avengers? You know, when's the last time there was a big blockbuster movie when's the last time there was an Avatar, you know?
Well,
just something to get people out of the house. We're not getting into all that right now. People saw Avatar.
when was the last time there was an Avatar?
Absolutely. And listen, I don't want to be someone to bring up the would-be's, the could-be's, and the should-be's. But what if I were to tell you that there should be a surprise clip queued in here, and we're gonna watch it right now? Let's take a look. Potatoes and ice cream? Anyone? Did you know that this trend is when you go to McDonald's and order an Oreo McFlurry, 2 hash browns, and then you make an ice cream sandwich out of them for breakfast? Let's take a look at what food challenge enthusiast and YouTube star Furious Pete has to say about it.
Okay, I didn't write that part of
Roll
the
the
prompt
clip.
there. That was Keith.
The McFlurry hash brown sandwich. I got myself 3 hash browns and 1 Oreo McFlurry. Let's give this a try. We got ourselves like our Big Mac hash brown McFlurry sandwich. Let's just give it a try. That is quite scrumptious. I'm creating a massive mess, but it's worth it. It's hell.
What are your thoughts?
That is blasphemy.
What about the dripping hot hash browns and cold ice cream? Do you have any weird food items that you guys indulge in?
Yo, that's just
Not
like
that.
low key. I don't like to judge. You know, I don't like to yuck
Nah,
other
judge
people's
that.
yum.
That's diabolical.
That's
Nasty.
big.
That's
diabolical.
That's big.
That was
Low
nasty.
key, that's big.
That's
And
disgusting.
the triple deck on it, it's like, I'm already raising my eyebrow. Now my eyebrows are off my head because you just added another layer.
You have to be on a strand of weed that doesn't even exist yet for that to taste good.
When are we gonna just draw the line and be like, dog, that's just nasty.
Stop
like
doing
that's not a trend. That's not cool. I don't want to try that. I don't want to watch somebody else try that again. It's just gross. Like I don't know why we're so excited to see disgusting activity. It's just not my vibe. It's
Did anyone work in fast food? Anyone worked at McDonald's?
Not McDonald's, but food service.
I worked
yeah.
in McDonald's, and I used to make, I didn't eat it, but I tried to prank my friends into eating it, and it was like a pickled juice McFlurry.
You guys want to guess how many calories are in this snack?
Okay, wait. I think I'm locked in for this one. So I think each hash brown is about 100 calories. And wait, prompter, don't show me. Each hash brown's about 100-ish calories, and I know for a fact the McFlurry's about 550, the Oreo McFlurry. So if we do a little math, I'm guessing that evens out to around 900-ish.
Well,
That's easy.
the McFlurry with the Oreos is 803 calories for a total of 1,097 calories.
Easy. Easy.
terrible.
Down the hash.
Light work.
Light work. I mean,
Light
if
work.
it's like under 5,000, that's just one meal. For
Exactly,
me, I
exactly,
put
dude.
on the it's wintertime. I put it away.
Uh,
I put it away.
did you go outside today? It's like
Oh.
sun was shining,
very nice.
birds were singing. It was like
global warming.
65 degrees.
I'm
Oh, okay.
I got out my car with my jacket and immediately regretted it. I'm not gonna lie.
But my windshield was frozen over this morning, so New England, make up your mind.
They never will. Just like liberals, am I right?
Yeah, I know.
What gender are they going to be today?
I know. Let's
All
spin the
right.
wheel.
That was off topic. I'm
Breaking news, breaking news. Keith Brown himself said that he's willing to bring you all to McDonald's next week if you guys are willing to try this trend. Are you guys going
sorry. I mean,
to McDonald's?
yeah.
Yes or no?
If he's going to pay for my
you
McDonald's,
guys, wait, where's your standard?
I'll eat whatever. I don't care. If a free meal is a free meal, all right?
terrible.
You got to
Fork and
commit.
knife.
Terrible.
Listen.
I'm skipping class.
All right. Here's the thing, okay? People don't commit to the bit anymore. They play around the bit. They dance around the bit. No one commits.
That's not a bit, dog.
That's a bit.
Just nasty.
No one asked him to do that.
Is the bit utter disgust?
Listen,
What's the bit
I'm
here?
Keith Brown's. All right,
Oh
whatever
my
he
God.
says, I do.
I did watch
okay?
a dude eat a bee.
You need to bring me back here, man.
He dared himself to do it.
It's terrible. Listen, we can't let the elderly tell us
The 80-somethings
how to
out
live
there.
our lives,
Yeah.
right? So let's see. I think it's about time we wrapped it up, right? It's been such a great time with my great co-host. I love coming back. I love seeing what we're doing. And I have a message for all of you guys out there, right? One, I used to be you, right?
It's terrible.
I used to not do my homework too. I
sorry.
remember. Oh, you thought I forgot. I used to not do my homework back in the day. I used to be the person to hand it in late, to hand it in a week after. Heck, some assignments I didn't even hand in at all. And I turned out great, but this isn't about me. This is about you guys, right? do your homework, enjoy life, and stop doing what you're seeing on the internet, right? We gotta change the wave. We gotta be different. We gotta be new. Instead of chicken jockey, jock the chicken.
Yo, hold
I'm
on.
out.
Jacking the chicken, bro.
We cutting that?
I think we gotta end
No,
there.
no,
That
it's
was
in.
great. Was that
think-
not a bomb outro?
I think.